Hello, good evening everyone. Good evening guys. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep, the India's most comprehensive preparation channel. So I hope I am audible and visible to everyone. I'm Saral with you today in this session. Here we are going to talk about how to analyze a mock test. It's a common question from many of you. Sir, we keep writing mocks but our scores do not improve, and every teacher says that you have to analyze a lot, you have to analyze your paper. So what exactly is that? How do we do that? So that's a very common question. Many of you were asking this, so therefore I have trying to give you a solution for that, the method for that. How do we analyze this? So please confirm once, is everything able to hear me and see me perfectly? Good evening Pooja Singh. So is all perfectly fine? All of you can hear me? Good evening guys. So once I'm sure that everything is okay, so we are going to start with our session after that, which is how to analyze a mock. I mean, these are the times now this question becomes extremely important, that how do we do that, because the exam is around the corner now. It is in November, so I think not even 3 months are left, rather less than 3 months are left. So how do we do that? That becomes a big question. And we say that in these coming days now, so for the next 2.5 months, whichever is left, so we'll ask you to keep writing different mocks, keep changing your strategy and see which strategy suits you. But yes, just writing a mock does not make you good at it. So what makes you good is the analysis of the mock. That is what we are going to discuss today, that how are we going to do that. That's the main purpose of our today's session. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's start. But before that, there is an information for all of you. What is that information? It is here. So last time also in the last session, some people asked me this question, sir, when did you leave grade up, when did you join BYJU'S and all. So this is for those people. So that grade up is now BYJU'S Exam Prep, and anyone who has the app of grade up, so please update it. It will automatically be updated to BYJU'S Exam Prep now. So just the name has changed, the color coding has changed, there is no other difference. And yes, the t-shirt is the BYJU'S t-shirt, right? So it is not grade up written over there. That's the only difference. The person is same, the faculties are same, the study material is same, the pedagogy is same, the structure is same, everything would remain the same except the name and a few more small changes which are there. Okay, so let us start with our today's session straight away. So here is how to analyze a mock. The first thing, okay, the first thing is when to do it, time duration, for what time we should analyze it. I mean, what is the right time for which analysis should be done, what to keep with you. So initially what all things are needed when I start the analysis of the paper, and which section to analyze. So which all sections do we analyze properly? These are some of the initial questions that might come to your mind. In a small session, I'll be just talking about the ways of doing analysis, so would not take much of your time. So when to do it? So I would always suggest the answer to this question, that when to do it, it should be not more than, you must try that it should not be more than 2 days after writing the mock, right? It should not be more than 2 days after writing the mock. And this analysis cannot be done by anything else apart from you on your behalf. I've seen many of the students are, okay, I have written that mock and now the analysis is also being conducted by them. So that is actually not an analysis, that is actually the solution of the paper in the offline format, you can say. Otherwise, you have that in the paper format as well. You can see that, the solutions. But yes, when a teacher is explaining it to you, of course, you get, slightly more comfortable with that. But yes, if you have written a mock, please make sure that you do not analyze it after more than 2 days, because the purpose is analysis ke time pe, this is extremely important to understand that when I was doing the question in the exam, Okay, so what was I thinking about it? Why did I leave this question? Why did I attempt this question? So did I find it difficult? Did I find it easy? What was the reason of that? Okay, or did I not even reach this question? So what exactly was my feeling while doing the paper? That has to be understood. Only then you would be able to do a proper analysis there. So that is a very, very crucial point, that you do not analyze the mock later than 2 days of writing it, because then you'll start skipping some of the things. It will not be there in your mind. For example, you have answered a question in an RC, right? And according to you, the answer was B, though you were confused between A and B. Why were you confused? What was there in your mind? Why did you ultimately choose B over A? Later on you get to know that A was the right answer. So why didn't I think about it? What was I thinking about A, and what the explanation says, are they matching or not? So that all becomes extremely important, and those all would be there in your mind generally. Generally, not later than 2 days after writing the exam. Though there can be people, of course, who can remember all the things even after 2 weeks. I have seen such people जिनको 15 साल पहले की चीज भी याद होती है, तो ये भी possible हो सकता है. But yes, generally, I mean for an average guy, normally ये नहीं होता है. So therefore, I would suggest all of you to try to do it within 2 days of writing the exam. Okay. Yes, now grade up is also BYJU'S. So rather than writing this कि grade up बिक गया, ऐसा क्यों लिखते हो यार? मतलब मुझे समझ नहीं आता. I mean, this is just an advancement, I would say, in all the formats. We have got a better support now. So बिक गया बोलना तो अजीब सा लगता है. मतलब क्या बिक गया? What do you say that? Okay, the second thing is the time duration. For what time we should analyze a paper? So I mean, should we analyze it for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, or what is the right time for which you should analyze? I would say that the time taken to analyze a paper should be much greater than what we actually think about it. Normally, what is our idea of analysis? We have just written a paper, उसमें score आया, percentile देखा. This is the the thought of a normal candidate, that a mock test is only there to tell you at what position you are right now. What is your score with respect to the other people? If the percentile that you get is better than what you were thinking, in that case you would feel motivated. If it is worse than what you were thinking, you will start feeling demotivated. This is the only thing mock test does for us guys, है ना? Generally, this is what our feeling is, कि mock test का काम मुझे mirror दिखाने का है, that what exactly are you. But no, that is not the job of the mock test. Mirror दिखाने का काम आपका actual exam करेगा, right? You are in a preparation stage. और जब आप प्रिपरेशन स्टेज में होते हैं, यू जस्ट डोंट थिंक अबाउट इट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज माय लेवल, आई जस्ट चेक इट एंड आई गेट मोटिवेटेड और डीमोटिवेटेड बाय दैट. नो, बोथ ऑफ द थिंग्स आर रॉन्ग. These are kind of those practice matches. Do you ever watch practice matches? You don't. Reason? That doesn't matter, yaar. Practice matches. Practice matches are there to understand the pitch. That is to understand the weather conditions, to understand that how would the ball come to the batsman. The bowler would be thinking about it, okay, how would, where from the pitch the ball would be taking a bounce, how much turn can it take, how much swing can be there. So at that time, if he's not able to swing, he's not able to take wickets, he's not able to bounce it, that does not mean he start feeling demotivated about it. So mock tests are just like your practice, it's your practice pitch. You can make mistakes there, you have to make mistakes there, because it is not your job to just understand what is right, it is also your job what is wrong. I do not have to go into that area which is wrong, right? Even if something new would appear, how would I deal with it? These all things you would be able to understand through these mock tests only. So please understand, if you do not analyze a mock and you just write the mock and you think that you are preparing for it, you are not. You are sadly mistaken. Even if you write 100 mocks like that, it will be of no use at all. An analysis is must, and this time duration should be as long as 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. It can be 5 hours as well for some guys. It can be 4 hours as well for some guys. It can be 10 hours for some people. The point is, the complete mock test should be solved by you question by question, the option should be carefully checked by you, that where all options were useful for me, and all these things are important while analyzing a paper. I will be talking about those as well, that how do you do that, उसके बारे में बात करूंगा. But generally टाइम ड्यूरेशन इतना हो सकता है that even one section of LRDI probably can take 3 hours of you, है ना. There are 8 sets in this. Normally till CAT 19 there used to be 8 sets. So now it is last year there was 6 sets. There are good chances this year also there would be 6 sets. अगर 6 sets आएंगे, 6 sets को solve करने के लिए you need somewhere around 3 hours. So LRDI alone might take your 3 hours. Quant alone might take your 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Verbal ability 2.5 hours. So it might take a long time. So the time duration, I would say do not keep any duration in my mind, but just try to go above that threshold point where you feel यार बहुत टाइम लगा दिया मैंने एनालिसिस पे, लग रहा है it is always useful for you, लगने दो. It is the most important part of your preparation. It has to be there. Okay. So any other question after the mock immediately in 2-3 hours? Of course nothing wrong with that, Tejas. My point was not later than 2 hours, 2 days. पेपर देने के 2 दिन से ज्यादा मत करो, कोशिश करो 2 दिन से पहले, फिर चाहे आप बिल्कुल पेपर देने के हाफ एन आवर बात कर लो. बट जनरली वी डू नॉट हैव दैट मच ऑफ पेशेंस एट दैट टाइम कि अभी अभी एग्जाम लिखा है 3 आवर्स का और उसके बाद एनालिसिस करना शुरू करें. 3 आवर्स या 2 आवर्स का एग्जाम है, फिर एनालिसिस स्टार्ट करें. दैट बिकम्स स्लाइटली बोरिंग फॉर पीपल. दे माइट लूज पेशेंस एज वेल. इफ यू कैन डू दैट, नथिंग लाइक दैट. उससे अच्छी तो बात ही नहीं है बिल्कुल भी. गुड इवनिंग जोगी चित्रा. माइनस में मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, व्हाट टू डू? एनालाइज करोगे तो हमेशा अच्छा रहेगा. ठीक है. थर्ड थिंग, व्हाट टू कीप विद यू. सो यहां पे जब मैं बात कर रहा हूं व्हाट टू कीप विद यू, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट ए कॉपी, अ पेन और ए पेंसिल और ऑल, उसके बारे में बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. सो व्हेन आई से दैट व्हाट टू कीप विद यू, यू हैव टू कीप योर रिपोर्ट कार्ड विद यू. And if possible, you also have to keep the topper's performance with you, that how are they performing against you. So your report card means your percentile, how much have you scored, in what all areas you have scored, मतलब section wise भी होता है. So there would be places where you can get an analysis, इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस, जहां पे आपको ये भी पता लग जाता है कि आपका जो है किस सब्जेक्ट में कितना स्कोर आ रहा है, एंड द क्वेश्चन दैट यू डिड, इन व्हाट टाइम यू डिड इट, द टॉपर डिड इट और नॉट, राइट. सो दोस काइंड ऑफ कंप्लीट इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस कैन बी देयर. सो वॉट एवर बेस्ट एनालिसिस you can have your paper, sorry, so keep that with you. Your percentile is your biggest indicator that how did you perform in that mock. That becomes a very important part. Keep all those things with you. Which sections to analyze? Some people who feel that this is a mistake that I also used to do, so therefore I am talking about this to you as well. So when I was a student, so I used to feel that okay, my verbal is not good and my quant is good, my LRDI is good. So every time I used to write a mock, I used to analyze quant and LRDI only, because that always give me some kind of pleasure, right? It always made me happy. That okay, oh, this was the mistake, next time I am going to change it. Okay, LRDI mein, okay, that was the point I could not understand, next time I am going to do this, right? These many questions I did right, and 3 of the mistakes were very silly mistakes, and I always want to look at that good picture, that okay, in the exam I am not going to make this mistake, I am very sure. यहाँ मैंने कर दिया mock test में, probably I was not that serious, but in the exam I am not going to make that mistake. So I always used to be in some happy era around me, that okay, I am already getting this much of percentile. These are the silly mistakes. In the exam I would not do them, and if I do not do those silly mistakes, of course my percentile would be somewhere around 90 or 99, and I was sitting very happily that okay, I am going to score good. Never looked at the verbal section, because that was not my cup of tea. So I always thought कि why to improve that, वो मुझे अच्छा लगता ही नहीं है. I'll score in quant and LRDI only. This is what I thought, and ultimately my percentile would be pretty low. In the exam, the silly mistakes that I was making in the mock tests, I made more silly mistakes in the actual exam. ठीक है. Things which I thought कि ये तो मैं एग्जाम में गलतियां करूंगा ही नहीं, ठीक है, यहां की है, I am not going to do them in the exam. I did those in the actual exam as well. So please keep this in mind. do not choose any section to analyze. However strong you are in a section, analyze it. And if you are not strong, you are poor at a section, then तो you must analyze it. जो मैं करता था, it was exact opposite of what a person should do. नहीं? Where I am weak, I should be working on that rather than working on that part जहां पे मैं ठीक हूं. भाई क्वांट और LRDI में तो आई एम ऑलरेडी डूइंग गुड, सो व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ एनालिसिस ओवर देयर? ओवर वर्बल एबिलिटी. आई एम नॉट सेइंग करना नहीं है, लेकिन वर्बल को छोड़ के वहां करने का क्या पॉइंट है? आई हैव टू वर्क ऑन माई वीक एरियाज, आई डू नॉट हैव टू वर्क ऑन माई स्ट्रॉन्ग एरियाज. आई एम ऑलरेडी स्कोरिंग देयर. सो जो वीक है वो तो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो ही जाते हैं, हाउ एवर बोरिंग दैट इज टू यू. इनिशियली इट माइट बी कि नहीं यार मेरे से होते ही नहीं है, मैं करने लगता हूं मुझे नींद आ जाती है, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू दैट, बट स्टिल इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. So you have to analyze each and every section, whether you are good at it or bad at it, सब कुछ करना है, that is important. Okay? How to improve mock score? आदित्य इसी के बारे में तो बात कर रहे हैं. I am sure that इसके बाद शायद आप कुछ कोशिश कर पाएंगे. So I am starting with this, that verbal ability. What exactly is to be done? So I am talking about now CAT 2021. Of course, we all know there are going to be approximately 26 questions. There are good chances 26 questions होंगे because it has already been told to us. It's a 40-minute section और 40 minutes का ही last year भी था. There were 26 questions last year. So there are good chances that this year also there would be 26 questions in this. And as last year there were 18 questions in RCE and 8 questions in verbal ability, that is para jumbles, para completion, odd one out, वो जो सारे थे. So almost the same composition is going to be this year as well. There are good chances of doing that. Okay. So as far as strategy is concerned, how do we start with that? So that is very individual specific. सब लोगों के अलग अलग सूट कर सकती है. मॉक्स आर अ वेरी गुड प्ले ग्राउंड टू डू दैट. देयर यू कैन चेंज योर स्ट्रेटजीज, try with different strategies and see which one suits you. In which, for example, for some people, when they start the exam, their concentration level is very high, which start dipping after some time. For some people it is very low in the beginning, but it start increasing after some time. So that is your mental makeup. For every person that is different. So for me, I feel that my concentration level would be better after some time. So I always start with verbal ability. And that is not the only reason. There is another reason for that, that my verbal ability and reading comprehension is probably not that good. So therefore I feel I should start with the area in which there is no negative marking. So when I am doing these questions, they have no negative marking, right? Para jumbles जो होते हैं, there is no negative marking in those because these are theta type questions. Odd one out जो होते हैं या फिर आपके summary based होते हैं, para completion होते हैं. So these questions are theta type. So in verbal ability, I always start with theta type questions. Type in the answer type because they have no negative marking. So while doing those questions, I never feel bad that even if they are wrong, right, I am not going to lose anything. So therefore I always start with that. And another person can start with this. So how do you get to know about this? Of course, you keep changing your strategy in different mocks. Somehow we never strategize. Somehow whenever we go to a mock, every time we think last time score कम आया था, इस बार फोड़ के आऊंगा, ठीक है? This time I am going to score good. And when I start doing the paper after 20-25 minutes, I get to know कि ये बार भी इस बार वैसा होने वाला है, last year जैसा ही, so it is going to be bad. We are still not able to come out of that. If my verbal is going bad, I still have to maintain the self-confidence in LRDI. Just verbal has gone bad, it does not mean my LRDI will also go bad. Or let us say my LRDI has gone bad. I could do only 2 sets, whereas I was thinking about 4 or 5 sets. I could do only 2. ये सोच के ही मेरा क्वांट खराब हो जाता है. So this is how I have to improve. यहाँ चीजें आपको improve करनी पड़ेंगी. You have to play with your confidence as well. That's a very important part. So what do you start with? That's completely up to you. But point ये है, analyze क्या करना है आने के बाद. So let us say there were 18 questions in RCs and I could do 12 questions. ठीक है, और 8 questions in VA. ये तो 8 के 8 कर रहे बनते हैं. These are theta type questions. Out of those 12 questions, generally कहानी कुछ ऐसी होती है, 6 of them are right, है ना, and 6 of them are wrong. And out of these 8 questions, let's say 5 of them are right, 3 of them are wrong. नॉर्मली स्ट्रक्चर इस तरह का हो जाता है. सो आई हैव डन अ टोटल ऑफ 20 क्वेश्चंस, बट 20 में से ओनली 11 आर करेक्ट एंड 9 ऑफ देम आर रॉन्ग, या 12 आर करेक्ट, 8 ऑफ देम आर रॉन्ग. सो द एक्यूरेसी इज प्रेटी लो in case of VARC for most of the people. This happens, right? So if this is happening to you as well, do not think that you are the only one in that line. ये पूरी जनता के साथ है. Verbal ability में accuracy थोड़ा लो होती ही है with respect to LRDI and quantitative ability. We generally say that around 70 to 80% अगर accuracy भी है ना आपकी, that is pretty good accuracy as far as verbal ability is concerned. ठीक है, 70 से 80% भी अच्छी accuracy रहती है. Now the point is, I have done 6 questions in RC and 6 questions wrong in the RC. So which questions to analyze? Let me tell you, your job is to analyze all of these 18 questions. You have to analyze all of these 18 questions. What all things you have to keep in your mind? First thing, the sets that you picked, how easy or how difficult were they? You would be able to figure it out only if you do all of those 18 questions, right? Do all 18 of them at home with no time limit. While doing the analysis, कोई time limit मत रखिए, घर पे पूरे के पूरे 18 questions, do all of them, and while doing all those questions, now try to figure out अब मेरे कितने सही हो रहे हैं, कितने गलत हो रहे हैं. Am I able to understand those, right? So now I have to understand which were the sets that I should have picked, which were the sets that I should not have picked, and out of those sets which I should not have picked, still I did. Why did I do those? ठीक है, did I even think about it while starting a set? क्या मैंने सोचा that what is the difficulty level of this set and what decides that difficulty level? जब आप घर पे बैठ के कर रहे हो, आपको समझ आ रहा है why are your questions going wrong? Are you logically doing something wrong, or you probably are conceptually wrong? या फिर आपने बहुत जल्दी में पढ़ने की कोशिश की, you could not understand, you could not comprehend the set, आप वो समझ ही नहीं पाए. So what is the mistake? How would you be able to figure it out? ठीक है, that is a part of your analysis. Which sets are to be done, which sets are not to be done. While doing those sets in the exam time, what was I thinking? Why did I pick this? Why did I not pick this? It was my only criteria in my mind कि ये लेंदी है, मुझे नहीं करना. कई बार हम ऐसा करते हैं, ये बहुत लंबा लग रहा है पैसेज, लेट्स लीव इट. ये छोटा पैसेज है, लेट्स डू इट, राइट? इज दैट द ओनली क्राइटेरिया? इज दैट द राइट क्राइटेरिया ऑफ चूजिंग? Later on, probably you might find the smaller one was difficult one, and the larger one was actually easy. But हम लोगों ने ये देख के ये छोड़ दिया, ये कर लिया, and that should not be probably the right approach at the time of the exam. So what was I thinking while doing these sets, while picking these sets? That becomes the first important part for you कि set आप क्या सोच के choose करते हैं. Analyze it properly at home. While doing all of them, while solving all of them, while looking at the solution, how close the options were, how how difficult the set was, what was the language, what was the topic, was I able to comprehend or not, still I kept doing it. ये सारी चीजें figure out कीजिए and then decide that next time when I go to a mock, I am not going to do these mistakes. If you are not improving every time you write a mock, there is no point of writing a mock. हम लोग ना सिर्फ नंबर से रखते हैं. मैंने ना 25 मॉक लिख दिए, मैंने 50 मॉक लिख डाले, अभी भी स्कोर इंप्रूव नहीं हो रहा. 120 लिख लो, 150 लिख लो, स्कोर विल नॉट इंप्रूव इफ यू नॉट एनालाइज. यू माइट इंप्रूव योर स्कोर जस्ट आफ्टर डूइंग 2 मॉक्स इफ यू एनालाइज देम वेल. एनालाइज नहीं कर रहे हो तो फिर आप 50 लिख डालो, कुछ नहीं होता, उससे फायदा ही नहीं होता. कई बार दिमाग में यही बहुत होता है कि हाँ टाइम कम है, टाइम कम है, आई हैव टू फास्ट रीड दिस आरसी सेट. बहुत फास्ट एक सेट पढ़ा, आई डिड ऑल 4 क्वेश्चंस. बहुत फास्ट दूसरा भी पढ़ा, आई डिड ऑल 4 क्वेश्चंस. बहुत फास्ट तीसरा भी पढ़ा, आई डिड ऑल 4 क्वेश्चंस. आउट ऑफ दोस 12 क्वेश्चंस आई गॉट 6 रॉन्ग. इट वाज बेटर टू डू 2 सेट्स rather than doing 3 and getting all 8 correct. वो ज्यादा बेहतर होता बजाय 12 क्वेश्चन फास्ट करने के. It would have been a better choice. We are still in that era जो स्कूल वाला होता था ना, that okay there is a question about civilization, let's go to paragraph and find out where civilization is written. There is a question about institution, so let's go to the paragraph, find out the word where institution. ये याद होगा ना आपको, स्कूल टाइम में ऐसा करते थे. प्रेसिस वाले जो क्वेश्चन होते थे हमारे, उसमें ऐसा करते थे कि जिस वर्ड के बारे में क्वेश्चन पूछा उसी वर्ड को हम पैराग्राफ से ढूंढते थे एंड वी ट्राई टू गेट द आंसर फ्रॉम देयर. दिस इज नॉट दोज पेपर्स, है ना. ये कैट के बारे में अपन लोग बात कर रहे हैं. दिस कैन नॉट हैपन ओवर हियर. ये नहीं हो सकता. सेकेंड, Apart from choosing the sets, it is also important to figure out your right or wrong answers. And when I say your right or wrong answers both, so basically the questions which you did correct, even those are to be analyzed. The questions that you did wrong, even those are to be analyzed, right? This happens in a set. Let's say in a RC you have a question and there are 4 options, और verbal में तो it is very common. Out of these 4 options आपको लग रहा होगा ये सही है या फिर ये सही है, ठीक है? After a certain selection, थोड़ा सा टाइम लगाया आपने, you did a little bit of analysis there and then you figured out C is the correct answer. Okay, when you came back home, you started analyzing, you got to know B is the right answer, and you start feeling I was so close to the right answer, and probably I just have to do this कि थोड़ी सी मेहनत कर लूं तो मेरा आंसर सही हो जाता. I was actually confused about it. We feel happy about this as well, isn't it? ये हम कई बार इसको भी लेके खुश नहीं होते कि हाँ मैंने सोचा था ये आंसर है और यही आंसर मिला, सो कोई बात नहीं, मैं उतना भी बुरा नहीं हूं इस क्वेश्चन में. इट इज गुड टू मोटिवेट आवरसेल्व्स, है ना, ठीक है? दिल को खुश करने के लिए ख्याल अच्छा है, गाली बोलते नहीं हो ऐसा, तो वैसी सी कहानी है, अच्छा है, ठीक है? कम से कम ये दोनों आंसर नहीं है, ये तो मैंने फिगर आउट कर लिया था. बट एट दिस स्टेज एज वेल इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू चेक द सॉल्यूशंस, that why B is the correct answer, why C is the wrong answer, what were you thinking about marking C? आपका एनालिसिस क्यों कह रहा था C is the answer, ठीक है? Look at that solution. Is that solution answering it? If that is not answering it, ask your faculty, sir, I am not able to understand, where am I wrong? Similarly, B को क्या सोच के you neglected, ठीक है? अगेन लुक एट दी सॉल्यूशन, क्या वो आंसर दे रहा है? अगर वो आंसर दे रहा है तो ठीक है, उसको नेक्स्ट टाइम गलती में नहीं करना है. अगर नहीं दे रहा है, आस्क योर फैकल्टी, सर व्हाई दिस इज द आंसर. So every question, whether you were right or wrong in that question, it has to be done. There are many questions in which this would be happening. You got the right answer and you checked the solution, you found out जो आपका तरीका था वही solution में लिखा है. So just move away then. Do not waste your time over there, right? If you are very good at verbal ability in RCA and you are doing all 18 questions, you got 14, 15 correct, you kept checking, and whatever reason that you had in your mind, it was given in the solution, move ahead. उसमें फिर ज्यादा मेहनत करने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है? But do check your solution कि आपका solution के साथ आपका आंसर मैच करता है कि नहीं. That becomes a very important point. Third, when I talk about these VA questions, para completion, para jumbles, और फिर odd one out या summary based questions, in all these questions as well, a proper analysis is needed. When I say, let us say you are doing para jumbles, आप para jumbles के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. अब para jumbles में you are getting the answer 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. Reason? You saw in one line it was written, he was naming some of the institutions, and then you found one line in which it was written these institutions. So you thought that okay, after this line has to come. I mean, this is how we connect, है ना, कि यहाँ institutions के नाम लिखे हैं और अगली लाइन जो शुरू होनी चाहिए वो these institutions से होने चाहिए, so they should connect. But later on when you found the answer, you found कि अरे यार ये तो मैच नहीं कर रहा है, तो जरूरी नहीं है, and at that very moment you start feeling कि जो मैं सोच रहा था ये हमेशा सही नहीं होता. So in what conditions it is not true? Figure that out. If you are not able to figure that out, ask your faculty. That is very important. ये जो mistakes हैं which are embedded in our mind that these are always true, you have to figure them out कि ये हमेशा सही नहीं होती और जब गलत होती हैं तो क्यों होती हैं. What is the reason behind it? If there are 5 sentences and he says find the odd one out, हमने देखा 5 में से there are 4 institutions which are talking about some ancient civilization, right? But there was 5th one which was not talking about it, so we thought it is the odd one out. We gave that the answer. Later on we find out कि actually वो एक generic हमें statement दे रहा था which was not about civilization or something. It was a generic statement which was related to those statements. But one of the statements which was about civilization, but it was not related to them. That means I have to learn this from there that this is not the only criteria कि मैं देख लूँ 4 चीजें एक के बारे में बात कर रही हैं 5 भी नहीं कर रही हैं तो यही odd one out है. That is what is the meaning of analysis. And just think of it. Every time you analyze your paper, you get to know about 5 things which you used to think this will give you the answer, but they will not. 5 more things which you used to think they will not give you the answer, but they will. राइट? सो हर बार हर मॉक में अगर ऐसा होता रहेगा, देयर वुड बी अ स्टेज आफ्टर डूइंग 15-16 मॉक्स वेयर यू वुड बी प्रेटी श्योर अबाउट मेनी ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट ओके दीज ऑल थिंग्स कैन नॉट गिव मी द आंसर एंड दीज ऑल थिंग्स कैन गिव मी द आंसर. दैट कॉन्फिडेंस वुड ऑटोमेटिकली कम फ्रॉम देयर. इफ यू कीप asking your faculties how do I improve my score, how do I improve my score, of course you cannot improve it. They don't have any formula for this. They don't have any kind of medicine, okay, take this and your score would be improved. The score can only be improved by a proper analysis, and that is what is a part of the proper analysis. Okay, that was the first thing about verbal ability. Let's move on to the second part, which is logical reasoning and data interpretation. Here again I would say the analysis of LRDI, it would again be individual specific. For some people it might be of some other way, for some people it might be of some other way. I would say people who are in the percentile of 60 to 80%, I am not saying that do each and every set of the LRDI, okay? But try to attempt each and every set at home without taking any time limit. Even if a set is taking 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour, still go ahead with it. There would be sets at about which you will get to know at the end कि ठीक है, this was a difficult set, I could have never done this during the exam. ये आपको खुद ही समझ में आ जाता होगा करने के बाद, right? Or go through the solution as well once and check in what way the solution is doing it. If they have some better approach, think of that, right? LRDI में the most important part is the key to start. Most of the times this becomes very important. What is the key to start? मैं शुरू कहाँ से करूँ? I hope all of you are listening to me. I mean, I don't see any messages from anyone. या तो आप बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान से सुन रहे हैं या फिर आप बिल्कुल ध्यान से नहीं सुन रहे हैं. In any case, क्योंकि कोई भी मैं देख नहीं रहा हूँ messages. So किसी भी LRDI के सेट का the most important part is key to start. भाई कोई भी LRDI का सेट है, right? आपको लगा होगा that if you are not able to do an LRDI set, so mostly the problem started with, sir, I could not figure out how to make this, how to start with, how to put the data. ठीक है, लॉजिक क्या है मैं वो पकड़ ही नहीं पाया इसका, इसको शुरू कहाँ से करना है, इसका मतलब मैं टेबल बनाऊं कि इसका कोई चार्ट बनाऊं, सो हाउ डू आई डू दैट, सो आई एम नॉट एबल टू फिगर दैट आउट. एंड दिस इज द पॉइंट वेयर आई लेफ्ट दिस सेट कि मेरे से नहीं होगा क्योंकि मेरे को इसका स्टार्ट ही नहीं मिला. और ये LRDI का बहुत कॉमन प्रॉब्लम है. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स इन LRDI यू विल फील दिस दैट यू लेफ्ट ए सेट जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ वन थिंग, यू कुड नॉट फाइंड आउट हाउ टू स्टार्ट दिस सेट. करना क्या है मुझे सबसे पहले ये मुझे समझ ही नहीं आया, राइट? घर आने के बाद व्हेन यू एनालाइज इट, व्हेन यू गो टू द सॉल्यूशन, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ट्राई टू फिगर आउट दैट व्हाट वाज दैट पॉइंट फ्रॉम वेयर ही स्टार्टेड. What is our way of analyzing? Probably we look at a set, we look at the solution, we see कि ये solution मुझे समझ आ गया, so that means now I know this set. But that is not the point that I have understood the solution or not. The point is how did he start? Why did he make this table? How did he get to know about this? That I have to understand, and that is the point from where you start. That is the point from where you understand. That is the part of analysis. A set is given to me. I saw that this set was very small. I started doing it, right? Again, as if is there in RCs. छोटा है करना शुरू किया लेकिन नहीं हुआ थोड़ी देर के बाद. और RC और इसमें जहां बात करो LRDI में, the only difference is RC में whichever RC you start with, you can do something in that. That might be wrong, but at least you can do something. In LRDI, if you pick a wrong set in the beginning and you spend a lot of time on that, let's say you have spent 10 minutes on that, right? Your whole paper would be screwed after that, because you would feel that okay, I have spent a lot of time, this time is gone, now in any case I cannot improve my score because I have already wasted a lot of time. वहां जाके कॉन्फिडेंस एकदम जीरो आ जाता है. LRDI में कॉन्फिडेंस इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज दैट कॉन्फिडेंस you will also take through to क्वांटिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड एज वेल. ये खराब तो वो खराब, ये अच्छा तो कहीं ना कहीं फिर वो भी अच्छा. Am I right? Does that happen? I mean, of course, as a teacher, I might not be feeling that pressure, but I somehow try to understand what would a candidate would be feeling at that time. So probably that is the feeling, right? You start a session, you have 40 minutes in your mind that okay 40 minutes है, I have to figure out that set which is to be done. First set करना शुरू किया, 6 minutes हो गए, 7 minutes हो गए. At that time you have a dilemma in the mind, इसको मैं करूं कि छोड़ दूं. 6-7 minutes हो गए. If I leave it, my 6-7 minutes would be wasted. If I do it, so probably I can use these 6-7 minutes. But it can go either of the ways, right? ये दोनों तरफ जा सकती है कहानी. There is a possibility that 6-7 minutes that you have wasted, you might waste a little bit more. ठीक है? And there is a possibility that you might be able to make it, but generally बनाने वाला जो काम है ना, वो generally नहीं हो पाता है. So I would always suggest whenever you are in a dilemma, I would be able to do it or not. Whenever you are in a dilemma, leave it. You can always come back to it. और जब मैं कह रहा हूं 2 दिन तक डेटा याद रहता है, तो उसमें मतलब 10-15 मिनट के बाद तो याद रहेगा ही रहेगा ना, वो पक्का याद रहेगा. इफ यू कम बैक टू दैट, तो आपको याद रहने वाली है. सो LRDI में whenever you come back home, first thing is the key to start of a set you have to understand. You don't have to just look at a solution. You have to think of this, that why did he start from that point and why I could not find out that point. That becomes an important thing. Second, how to figure out the easier ones and difficult ones. The set that you tried to do and the set that you left thinking that it would be difficult, were they actually as easy or as difficult as you thought during the exam? If not, why did you think about that? What was your thought process? Why did you think this set would be easy? Was it because this is a small set, it would be easy? Was it because this is sounds familiar, I have done such a set before? Was it because you felt that I am good at this topic, this would be easy for me, right? Was it because you thought okay, DI is always my strong area, I am good at calculations, I would be doing that? So what did you think while choosing a set? That becomes an important part of it. So while doing the analysis, keep thinking about it. ये दो बहुत major areas हैं, ठीक है. LRDI सारा सबसे पहले तो मुझे लगता है इस बात पे टिका है ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम कि कौन सा सेट इजी, कौन सा डिफिकल्ट. इफ आई फिगर दैट आउट, माय जॉब इज डन. दैट्स इट. इजी वाला और डिफिकल्ट वाला ढूंढ लो, काम हो गया. बट एट द टाइम ऑफ एनालिसिस, दिस इज अ मोर इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट फॉर यू कि किसी भी सेट को करने का सही तरीका क्या है. फॉर ए पर्सन हु इज अबव 80 परसेंटाइल, 90 परसेंटाइल के आसपास है, फॉर दोज गाइज आई वुड से मॉक का हर एक सेट करो. Even if it take 45 minutes, still do it. पूरे सेट करो. पूरे सेट करोगे, only then you will get an idea that why do we leave such sets, why do we do such sets, what is the right way of doing them. वो आपको तभी पता लगेगा जब आप उन पूरे सेट्स को घर पे बैठ के करोगे, right? How many cases were being formed, how do we form cases, वो सारा पता लग पाएगा आपको just by the analysis. Even if you have done a set correctly at the time of the exam, still do that again at home. फिर से करके देखो. Try to figure out what were the easier ways of doing it. Was there any? Could I take any help of the options? Was there any other point from where I should have started? So what are the right ways of choosing that? That will make you comfortable with these things. Okay, so these are extremely important. What is an easy set, difficult set, and what is the key to start. And the third point, which again I feel is quite important, is your strength and weakness. LRDI में ये important रहता है. If set theory is your weakness, you feel I am not good at set theory, probably you will always have this fear in your mind that even if there is an easy set, I am not able to do it, क्योंकि ये मेरी weakness है. ठीक है. Even if you feel that DI is my strength, so however difficult the set is, you will always feel this, I would be able to do this because this is my strength. So probably this strength or weakness का जो confidence है ना, that might help you sometimes, because it is not necessary if your strength is DI, so DI has to be difficult. हो सकता है DI easy आ जाए, वही आपकी strength है, वही आसान अगर आ जाएगा, it will take your confidence suddenly to 4 times of what it is. खेल देखो अल्टीमेटली सारा उसी का है. बेटर द कॉन्फिडेंस, ठीक है. तुक्के भी सही लगते हैं अगर आपका वो हो जाए ना. आप कभी भी देखना, इफ यू फील दैट यू आर गुड एट DI, वेरी गुड एट DI, यू आर डूइंग ए सेट, यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू इट, बट यू हैव ए हंच के दिस कैन बी द आंसर, गट फीलिंग आ रही है, मार के देखना, सही हो जाएगा. ठीक है. लेकिन अगर कॉन्फिडेंस खराब है तो तुक्के भी सारे खराब होंगे. ये भी सोच लोगे इन दो में से एक आंसर है, विच एवर यू विल मार्क दैट विल बी रॉन्ग, दैट विल हैपन. Okay, I've taken a lot of time, so we'll move on quickly to quant as well. So in this case, in quant, I have taken a question here from CAT 2020. Okay. This question says an alloy is prepared by mixing metals ABC in the proportion 347 by volume. Weights of the same volume of the metals ABC are in the ratio 5 to 6. In 130 kg of the alloy, the weight in kg of the metal C is. So what do we do? So probably at the time of the exam, I did that weights of the same volume of the metals is this. Let us say that same volume is X. So X volume of A, the weight of this is 5K. X volume of B, the weight of this would be 2K. Weight of volume C, X volume का हो जाएगा 6K. ऐसा ही कुछ बोल रहा है ना? That for the same volume of ABC, the weights are in a ratio of 5 to 6. Right? So for X volume of A, if the weight is 5K, for X volume it is 2K, for X volume it is CK. उसके बाद वो बोलता है mixing ABC in the proportion 347. So volumes are taken in a ratio of 347. So इसका मतलब if I take 3x here, it would be 5K into 3. If I take 4x here, it would be 2K into 4. Then I take 7x here, it will be 6K into 7. And then I add all of them. It gives me 15K plus 8K, that is 23K, plus 42K, that is 23 plus 42 is 65K. So 65K should be the total weight. He says the total weight is 130. So if 65K is 130, so K is equal to 2. If I put K is equal to 2, what is the weight of metal C? Weight of metal C is 6 into 7K. That is equal to 42 into 2, 84. So 84 becomes my answer. So this is how I did this question at the exam time. Then I came home. Then I started doing analysis. I did this correct. Should I analyze it? Of course you should. This question has taken a lot of time for you. So what are the easier ways of doing this question? Then I can think by looking at the solution, yeah, there was no role of this X. So why did I take this? Shouldn't I think of it? Should I take it or not? What makes it clear कि कब मुझे लेना है कब नहीं? Moreover, if I do not take this K, right, it would be 15, 8 and 42. That would also give me an idea कि 65 का double है तो double कर देता हूँ, right? But if I look at the options, does it give me, he is asking you what is the weight of the metal C. So volume of metal C is 7. Weight of volume is 6. 7 into 6 is 42. So my answer should be a multiple of 42. A multiple of 42 is 84. So if I had done this, probably I could have done this question in 15 seconds. Right? But what I did, it took me around 3 minutes. So why should I be doing this? This is the part of your analysis. Of every question of QA, you should be doing this, whether you have done it right or wrong. You will always see what solution did you do, how could you have made it easy, how could options would have helped you, how could by taking numbers you could have done it easy, what is the solution saying, is there a better way of solving this, what all questions did you do which were easy, right? What was your choice of questions? क्या सोच के चूज किया, क्या सोच के छोड़ा, ये हर जगह ट्रू है. एनालिसिस का पार्ट ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है that when I am selecting a question, what am I thinking about it? कि ये मुझे क्यों करना है, ये मुझे क्यों नहीं करना है? Is that only based upon my choice? Right? As I always say in all the classes of quantitative ability that I have taken till now, I have told you all the times, do not leave any topic. किसी को छोड़ो मत टॉपिक को. Do not leave any topic. Do the basics of each and every question, topic, right? And at the time of exam, just do not leave a topic because कि ये तो topic मेरा मतलब I don't like this topic, so therefore I'm going to leave it. No, don't do that. It might be very easy from that topic. So do not create strength and weaknesses in quantitative ability. ठीक है? You can have strengths. I understand. Arithmetic can be a strength. So strength means if the question is difficult, still I can go for it. I can think of it, right? But weakness ऐसे मत बनाओ कि if I have this area, I am not going to do this. So my weakness is, let's say, geometry. So if there is a question which is very difficult from geometry, I somehow feel कि इसको first stage में नहीं करता, I'll look at this in second stage. Had it been easy, I would have done it right now. If my strength is algebra and the question is difficult, I would try once. कि यार difficult भी है तो भी it is my strength area, so I can do that. So strength and weakness does not mean I have to do this, I will not do this. That is not the point. So alternate ways of doing the questions, how can you use options, how can you take numbers, which questions are to choose, which questions are not to choose, why did you choose this, why did you not. Change your strategy. It is not necessary to do all the questions in the order they are given in your paper. Possibly first 5 questions are very difficult, last 5 questions are very easy, we don't know, but of course we'll get to know. ऐसा भी होता है, आपने पहला क्वेश्चन क्वांट का लिया, नहीं हुआ, you left it, दूसरा नहीं हुआ, left it, तीसरा नहीं हुआ, left it, चौथा नहीं हुआ, left it. By that time you start feeling that pressure, मेरे को तो कुछ हो गया है, ठीक है, I am leaving every question, I am not able to do anything, what would I do? But there is a possibility in your paper, easier questions are later on and the difficult questions are given in the beginning. That's a possibility, हो सकता है, ठीक है. So don't lose hope in those cases. And when you analyze your paper, sometimes you will be able to figure that out there. And when you see it by yourself that yes, it was the case. These were the most difficult questions initially. And I somehow started feeling bad about it कि मैं तो सारे क्वेश्चन कर रहा हूँ, छोड़ता चला जा रहा हूँ. So once you look at those later questions, then you get an idea, अरे यार ये वो questions थे that I should have done and I could have done them easily. Okay, so that is all from my side. I hope you would have got an idea about this. Still, if you have a question, you can always ask me. I'll keep taking these sessions. Anything that you want to ask, you may ask right now, right? एंड 3 सेट्स बुरे नहीं आदित्य, ठीक है, वो डिफिकल्टी लेवल पे भी डिपेंड करता है, कभी कभी 3 भी ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, कभी कभी 3 कम रह जाते हैं, वो बहुत अलग अलग है. दिस इज आवर यूट्यूब शेड्यूल इन विच वी कीप टेकिंग क्लासेस. एनीथिंग you just keep attending these sessions, you will get answers of all your questions in these. And yes, we have also created some playlists over there, all free lectures at one place, so you just have to check it. Okay, these are the CAT courses, other courses in our online classroom program which is there, okay, which was previously Grade Up Super, now it is online classroom program, so you can join any of these batches when you take that. And yes, this is what it says, the non-CAT batch that we have started, batch 4 had been started, which is being taken by Vikas sir, Nikita ma'am and Pranav sir. Okay, and this is our team who would be teaching you here. And the online classroom program, as I told you, if you take that, you get everything under that, right? So all these things, a percentile booster course, a complete course for 2022. So when you take online classroom program, so everything you would be getting into that. You don't have to specifically take a particular batch. ये सब कुछ इसमें आ जाता है, okay? And for MA, CET, MBA, we are having this mega mock challenge. 11 से 13 September तक है, 12 PM का. As you all know, the exam is around the corner now. 16, 17, 18 are the dates which have been decided, right? The admit card is also out. You all would be knowing about that. And this part is extremely important for all of you. You have to do this, right? So that's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much and a very good night to all of you. I hope this session would be helpful and you are definitely going to increase your score in the coming days. Okay, thank you, bye bye, take care.